New game, new challenges, new season, and new circuits. All of this coming up. Hello, everybody, it's Joe here, and welcome to my all new F123 My Team Career Mode. We are kicking off here on launch day, and I am excited to get going. Of course, we are going to select newcomer, and we are going to rise through the ranks, upgrade our way to the top. Here is your calendar for this season. We are going with 16 races, starting off in Bahrain and ending in Abu Dhabi. And of course, we have the two new circuits, Qatar and Las Vegas, on the calendar. The team name will be JT Racing, and we are also looking at sponsors. Now, of course, I am going to go bold and big so that we get a better signing bonus, but I think we can manage 8 for better in the constructors. I would actually be quite disappointed if we didn't, so I'm aiming high and going for 8 for better. I think that is doable. And we're looking at engine components now. I did want to go with Ferrari, but for Season 1, I think we are going to go with Red Bull powertrains. However, we may switch to Ferrari in Season 2. And given that we have Red Bull power for this season, we got to take a driver in the Red Bull program. And out of the pool of drivers that was offered to us here, the one that jumped out at us was Ayumu Iwasa. So, for Season 1, or the first 8 races of Season 1, my teammate will be Ayumu Iwasa. I will, of course, review after 8 races has passed.
New year, new drivers, new team. Welcome and great to have you with us as we move far away from the paddock to the headquarters of the newest outfit on the Formula One grid. We've been granted exclusive access with an interview not just with the team owner or the star driver, but both. Because for the first time in modern F1 history, the team owner is behind the wheel themselves. Now is a great time to bring a new team into the sport, particularly off the back of such compelling competition last year. 2022 saw huge regulation changes, and it was Red Bull who came out on top in the development race. But that was last year. This year could be a very different story. Let me tell you, this facility is an absolute hive of activity, and there is a palpable sense of excitement around the car they've built. Quietly, they truly believe they can challenge at the top, and they've had the time now to craft a hugely competitive race car. But theory is one thing, and taking on the brightest lights in motorsport is quite another. So how does the owner of F1's 11th team feel as they prepare to be thrust into the limelight of the F1 circus? New driver lineups, Qatar returns, Las Vegas debuts, and the engineering race continues to push the sport and the drivers to new heights. What are they aiming for? Most excited about? Most nervous for? Well, soon we will meet them to find out. But first, let's take a look at the brand new car.
So that's the livery we will be running for this race, but from race 2 onwards, we will be running a more permanent livery. Anyway, this is the moment we have been waiting for. The moment to get on track and have a feel for what the car is like. Straight away I've noticed a lot of improvements graphically and a mirror effect on the car. I really like that. So, graphically stunning already. As for the handling model, it feels like I'm back in F1 2020 again. It's very sensitive, I've noticed, and it's very much, you know, gone is the understeery feeling of F1 22, and we've got a more sort of stable handling model for this game, which as a controller user, I am very much happy with. We've got a bit deep there. It did take me a couple of laps to unlearn everything that I was doing on F1 22 and sort of reconfigure for this handling model, but I prefer it. It feels better to me. Anyway, it's time to cut the nonsense. It's time to qualify for the Bahrain Grand Prix and figure out just whereabouts in the pack, in the pecking order, we are. And this is a moment I always look forward to. It's always interesting to see where we are so that we know where or whereabouts we can expect to be. And that mirror effect on the car really showing as we go through the double left. Once again, graphically, top job on that. But we are now in our first lap, and I just love the feel of this car. I can throw it into the corners again without fearing how the car is going to react. I do get one or two little snaps here and there, but it's nothing that I can't manage, nothing that I can't save. So I'm preferring the handling model. The sunset there looking stunning as we head towards the end of our first lap. Max Verstappen setting the bar with a 1:31.4. That's a good lap by Max, but where is this going to place us? What is our lap time saying here? It's a 1:31.7. We're 3 tenths off Max, and you know what that tells me? That tells me that the difficulty is slightly too low and that I need to tweak that. But I will tweak it for the race, don't you worry. But it's actually nice that I've got to increase the difficulty, because when I first did the first episode of career mode on F122, I had to lower it a few tweaks. So it's good to be able to need to up it again. Right, lap 2. And you know what? I've noticed this as well. You go slightly offline and you're picking up the muck on your tyres. That's a nice realistic touch. Anyway, in our lap in Q2, we've gone wide, we've made a mistake, and onto the runoff area we go, and we're having to do a second lap on these soft tyres, and they're not feeling as good as they did on the first lap. As although we gained time from not making a mistake, it wouldn't be as quick as it would have been had we not made the mistake. So it's going to be P15 for the Bahrain Grand Prix, which whereabouts where we expected to be anyway. If we'd done another 31.7 like we did on that first lap, where would it have put us? And I'm just going to get a look now. It would have placed us between Charles Leclerc and Fernando Alonso. So, again, like I said, the difficulty does need a tweak. I will tweak that in time for the race. So for the first race, we are P15, and I believe Max Verstappen will be on pole. Perez, though, topping Q2. I am excited to get racing here.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal, and it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best, of course, at turn 1, and then another soon after into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into that tight left-hander of turn 10. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Hamilton, Sainz, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Ocon, Tsunoda, Bottas, Stroll, Albon, Gasly, Sparkles, Joe, Oscar Piastri, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, De Vries, Iwasa, De Vries. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as once again we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
So another graphic tweak I've noticed is the tweak to the starting grid graphic. It looks pretty much real to life. So you know what? It is a beautiful. Yes, I am doing the hand thing. Anyway, it's time to begin this career mode. We are on the grid for the Bahrain Grand Prix. And the new career mode is underway, and Verstappen did not seem to get away from that start at all. But look at Carlos Sainz. like a rocket, moving upwards ahead of his teammate. But Verstappen has dropped down to third by that first corner. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 2. And Verstappen getting shuffled out by his teammate Perez. He's trying to fight off Lewis Hamilton and has fought off Hamilton. Meanwhile, Leclerc and Ocon look like they're going side by side there. And I think Ocon is going to the outside to win that one out. Also, look at Fernando Alonso moving up into P3 in the Aston Martin there. A very impressive start for him. Right, we're going to switch to our POV. I'm getting excited to get going. It's lights out and away we go for us. And look at that. Albon just not getting away at all. And we've got a mighty launch there. And already we're looking at being on the outside of the points. I'm trying to go down the inside. Where was that an illegal overtake on Bottas? Where? If anybody knows where that was an illegal overtake, please point that out. I'm not sure what I did wrong there. But anyway, we're in P12. We've made up a couple of positions. We're going to take a look up the inside of Valtteri Bottas. Down the inside. We're going to try and get a better run out of the corner. We're side by side. And we're going to go down the inside. And, well, we've kind of crowded Bottas out there. And both McLarens of Piastri and Norris following me through. They started behind me. So they've kind of just... Well, Piastri started behind me anyway. So Oscar has kind of just followed me through the cars I've overtaken. So a good start by him. As we're starting to take a look at Yuki Tsunoda for P10. Right, lap 2, and it all seems to be cracking off in front of me. I do wonder what's going on there. It's all kicking off as I think they were nearly 3 wide into that corner there. So we're going to take a look and see what was going on. But first up, Lewis Hamilton has decided he's not waiting behind Fernando Alonso any longer. He takes a dive up the inside. Alonso trying to fight him off. But Hamilton with the run out of the corner, taking P3, taking that final podium position. And this is where it all starts. This is Leclerc trying to get past Ocon. And in the background, you see Hamilton making his move. But this is Charles Leclerc going down the inside of Ocon to try and take P6. We're riding on board with Lance Stroll, who's had a look up the inside of George Russell. Ocon's lost the place to Leclerc. Russell now having a look. And they are, well, they're not quite 3 wide. Leclerc just about ahead. Russell down the inside of Ocon, trying to force his way through there. And they're side by side going around this sector of circuit. And Russell trying to hold his own as we head into what I believe is turn 8. Russell down the inside and George taking the position from Ocon. Ocon's going to fight him though into this double left-hander. Are they both going to be able to make it through? Russell round the outside. He is not giving up at all. And he's got the momentum out the corner. He's got the position. Ocon slightly compromised out the exit of the corner there. And that's allowed Lance Stroll to have a go and move up into P8. The Aston is flying. And while this is kicking off, I'm trying to get past Tsunoda because this pack is getting backed up and it's being brought toward me. So we're trying to have a look at Tsunoda. No way through there. But I'm going to have a look down the straight. We've got a little bit of momentum here. I'm going to take a dive up the inside, but we're not able to slow it down in time. And Tsunoda just says, you know what, thank you very much. I will just relieve you of that. I will take that place back. So, fighting Yuki Tsunoda for P10 in the AlphaTauri. Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris behind me are having their own battle, and they're backing each other up while they do that. But I've got my sights set firmly on the AlphaTauri in front of me. I want to get past now because I believe he is holding me up a little bit. And I think that we would be able to get just a little bit clear of him. Here we go then. We've got overtake at our disposal. Draining the battery as we go round the outside of turn 1. Tsunoda holding the place. We're going to try and switch back down the inside here. We didn't quite get the run we wanted. Tsunoda still holding the position, but we're still on the outside. We're not giving up here. Side by side. And the one thing I've noticed, the AI is not OP out of the corners. We can actually fight back in this game. So a big improvement made to how the AI are out the corners. And we managed to take P10 from Yuki Tsunoda. And it feels good to be able to fight again. So up into the point paying positions now. But we're going to have a lot of defending to do if we're going to hold it. And as we carry on lap 3, we hit that brutal curb nearly losing it there. That curb is still a danger curb to hit then. So, but I'm amazed that we were able to save that. I thought we were going straight round. You see the back end really snap out. I'm jamming on the brakes and just going wide and allowing the car to do what it needs to do. But we didn't have to fight it too much to recover. And now we're back on the rear of Tsunoda. And I'm sorry, Yuki, but I would quite like that position back, as Pierre Gasly has got past McLaren and he's now wanting to get involved in this battle. I'm now going around the outside of Tsunoda, taking back that P10 that we lost from that mistake. We've got the position again, and Tsunoda might want to try and fight back out of the corner, but we've got a good momentum through it. So, into the points-paying positions once again. And meanwhile, this is Max Verstappen having a look at Sergio Perez, and this is Max Verstappen going down the inside to take the lead from his teammate Perez, trying to fight that off, but in the end, it just turned out Verstappen had the better momentum and is through. And I wonder how long in this alternative universe it's going to take for the other teams to catch up with the Red Bull, because this season's Red Bull is a rocket ship. And speaking of a rocket ship, Yuki is trying to use a rocket ship to go down the outside of me, but we were able to defend him, and I'm creating something of a train here as I find out where my teammate is. So Iwasa is in that train then. He's in P16, 3.5 seconds behind me. And meanwhile, we're now watching Lando Norris shaping up on Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly. These guys behind me are all having their own battle, and it's allowing me for now to hold position. But here comes Lando Norris down the inside, gaining 2 for the price of 1, moving up into P11. And that is a mighty move by the McLaren driver, Lando Norris, moving into P11. And guess what? He is not done there. Lando Norris now coming straight at me. I try to defend. Norris, though, with such momentum down the straight, has got us, but I'm going to go around the outside. That's a little bit too deep there. Going to try and follow Lando through the corner. And look at this. Look at the momentum we just have out the corner. It feels so good to fight again after the AI was so OP out of slow corners on F122. But we've got back past Lando Norris, back into P10. I'm really fighting hard to keep this position. It would be nice to start the campaign off with a point, but Pierre Gasly is now coming at me as some of the drivers ahead are starting to make their pit stop for this race. Or in the case of Carlos Sainz, he pitted early and went on to medium, so I don't know what he's doing there. It looks like Ferrari's strategy has struck again. He was actually ahead of Leclerc, so not quite sure what strategy that's all about. I believe he started on softs, as did Lance Stroll, but Lance Stroll took softs quite a way into the race, and he also has gone on mediums, but I wonder what strategy he's going for. Right, following Pierre Gasly, who has got back past us, but what we're doing now is pitting, and for this career mode, I have elected to go for the broadcast pit stop, and we pit in, 4 new wheels on, no frills, no fuss, no drama, and we now go on to the hard tyres till the end of the race, and we've got a nice clear bit of track so that we can push hard and try and undercut Gasly to take our position back. And the difference in grip was very noticeable straight out of the pit lane. You could feel how much better the tyres were feeling, and we're now pushing on to try and get that position back from Pierre Gasly. We are setting some good sector time, still not personal best, but there's Pierre Gasly coming out of the pit, and once again we are back into P10, and Lando Norris is also still behind us. They've got it all to do again. Gasly especially has it all to do again, and he'll be disappointed as he did all that hard work to get past, and it just amounted to little in the end. Right, Norris has caught back up, so we've got to try and defend again. We're a little bit squirrely out of the corner, and now we're heading into the double left. Lord Norris will have DRS here, but we've gone wide. We've hit the curb and gone very deep, and Lando Norris has got past us. After doing well to defend, we have made a mistake, and Lando Norris taking P10, and that's such a shame for us there. I just go a little bit too wide under the pressure, and Norris takes the position back. But I'm not giving up. I want to try and stay close to see if we can get the position back. But in the end, we were unable to. And this is Charles Leclerc now moving ahead of Fernando Alonso into P4. Leclerc doing a good job in the Ferrari. Sainz has lost out in his strategy because he had to navigate so much traffic after making his first stop. And there we go again. Sainz confirming a two-stop strategy. All hail the Ferrari strategy, everyone. Once again, just absolute masterclass there from Ferrari. But that puts us back into P10. But it is going to be all the harder to defend both Gasly and Sainz for a points position, especially when you consider how much faster the Ferrari is going to be than us. But let's see. First off, we're going to try and defend from Pierre Gasly. He's going to go to the inside. Gasly to the inside. We're going to try and take the outside to defend. But I've again gone deeper than I intended. But we're going to hold it out on the left side of the circuit. And we have got back past Gasly. Gasly not quite getting past us yet. He is going to be getting quite frustrated in the helmet of that Alpine though, as we go a little bit deep there as well. Exploring the circuit or areas that just aren't the circuit. And Gasly has got a good run as we got a little bit squirrely out of the corner. Gasly now to the inside, and Gasly taking the position. I was going to try and up and under, but Gasly really holding the line beautifully. And that's a fair move by the Alpine. Down into P11 we go. It looks like points just aren't going to be this time for us, as we now have to turn our attention on defending Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. Magnussen in 13th. He's battling Tsunoda. They're 7.5 seconds behind, so I'm not all too worried about them. I think we are going to be able to hold those guys behind, but I'm gutted that we weren't able to hold Gasly. And here comes Carlos Sainz. Look at the momentum the Ferrari has. I tuck in, try and pick up a bit of a slipstream. We do pick up a little bit of a slipstream. I'm using bits of the circuit that I'm not sure even are the circuit. We're fighting Sainz down the inside there. He didn't get the exit out the corner he hoped he'd get, and we were able to retake P11. And I'm looking at hoping that maybe we can try and catch back up to Gasly. But the problem is we're fighting Sainz too hard here. And we're now watching George Russell as he's going to make an attempt on Fernando Alonso. He's stuck with Charles Leclerc, so he's stuck in the DRS but not able to make a move on it, whereas George Russell is able to make moves. And Russell down the inside of turn 1, but Alonso is fighting him hard here. And Alonso keeping the position, but Russell's got better momentum as they stay side by side, heading towards the end of sector 1. Russell down the inside, Alonso on the outside. Alonso holding it out around the outside. They stay side by side and coming to the twisty section here. How Alonso is holding this, I don't know. I would just give it up. But Alonso determined to keep the position, but Russell slots in ahead. Right, Carlos Sainz now coming back at us. Carlos Sainz down the inside. We forced him to the inside of the corner. And Sainz, oh, he goes a bit deep there. And that just allows us to retake P11 by up and undering him as Sainz goes really deep. And we hold on to that position. And there is going to be even more frustration inside the Ferrari helmet as Gasly is able to get away. He'll be hoping to get a point from this. But we've got to fight off Carlos Sainz. And here comes Carlos Sainz once again down the inside of the left-hander. Resistance is kind of futile, but I'm still fighting him. Sainz getting the move done. I'm having a look down the inside there. That's not an overtaking place. And we're going to take a cheeky dive bomb here. I want this P11. I want this place in case someone in front of us drops out and we can take back a point. So I'm fighting Carlos ridiculously hard here. I think maybe if I'd shown this kind of resistance to Gasly, I'd still be in P10. But we never know. Anyway, here comes Carlos Sainz once again. And that move is pretty much done there. We're not going to be able to fight back from that. The power of the Ferrari and the DRS, he has taken the position. And we are down to P12. So That's where it looks like it's going to be our finishing position for today. But I've really enjoyed some wheel-to-wheel battles in this race. And it has been a good race to watch as well. Plenty of action going on elsewhere. And unfortunately for Bottas, the day of action is over. He's peeling off to the side. It's a done day for Bottas. One to forget. He was towards the back end of the field anyway. Max Verstappen then winning the Grand Prix. Predictably, of course, once he took the lead, he wasn't going to lose it. And I think Perez is going to take second. But for us, there was quite a bit of wheel-to-wheel action, quite a lot of defending to do. We weren't able to hold on to a points finish, but I'm very encouraged by where we are here in Bahrain. I'm enjoying the handling model of the game, and the whole dynamics of the game seem to... I approve. I very much approve. That's all I can say for that. And the day-to-night transition looking amazing again. EA and Cody's, you have done a great job on this. But for this first race of this career mode, it's P12. We are knocking on the door of points, and I think with some upgrades, we will be in the points. But for the first race, it's P12, just outside the points. Plenty of wheel-to-wheel action, a thoroughly enjoyable Grand Prix.
Brilliant stuff from Red Bull today. What a superb victory. And talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. So let's review the updated driver standings.
So there you have it then. Those are your results for the first race of this career mode. Verstappen just dominating. Perez second. Hamilton third. Leclerc doing a good job to finish fourth. And then it was Russell, Alonso, Stroll making a soft to medium strategy work. His tyres clearly going towards the end as he fell back a bit from his teammate. But a good effort by Stroll, Ocon, Norris and Sainz rounding out your top 10 for this first race. What a good race it was. And especially as well, some of the action that was going on around us as well. There was plenty of that to watch. Our teammate as well doing decently, moving up from P21 to P18 and bringing the car home cleanly, which is all we can ask for from our teammate in the first race, in his first race. And the last driver to finish was Zhou Guanyu. So, yeah, a good first race, a thoroughly enjoyable one, but nobody was touching the Red Bulls. But I do wonder, like I said, how long is it going to take the other teams to catch up in this alternative universe? There's the drivers' standings. Obviously, it is as the top 10 finished, this Bahrain Grand Prix. We're in P12, so hopefully we'll get some points on the board soon. 6 constructors scoring points then from the Bahrain Grand Prix. Red Bull looking mighty. Mercedes looking like the best of the rest. And then Aston Martin and Ferrari probably fighting it out amongst themselves. And Alpine just behind. Well, thank you for watching this first instalment of Career Mode. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content from me. More F123 Career Mode. I cannot wait to progress through this. But until the next time, TTFN guys, ta-ta for now.